periods of somewhat calm with the memorandum of understanding and other negotiations, immediately into now what we've seen for a few days of isolating the Strait and all those things that can threaten the Strait. What has now changed with this most recent wave of airstrikes is moving further inland into Iran as, frankly, you run out of targets along the shorelines of Iran and things that are worthy of being bombed by whatever type of munition we may be using. And this is an expected expansion inland to Iran now. But what it says is that we maintain the air superiority over top of Iran, and we're going to expand this where we need to attain those strategic objectives that, by and large, remain the same.
But let me ask you this, staying with you for just a moment here on the military side of this. In terms of landing on some of these islands and perhaps taking control of some of these islands, Karg Island and the others, Greater and Lesser Taub, that are also on the list. They're obviously in that area between, some of them go up the coast of Iran, but some are right in that area in the Strait of Hormuz. I've spoken with some people who believe that that would take a military commitment of several months in order to really commandeer control of the Strait in a military way. And we know that President Trump has said he would consider putting boots on the ground there. What's the time frame that makes sense to you?
I think that's a fair assessment to be able to say somewhere between maybe 4 and 6 months, and 6 months would be definitely at the outside. But of course, what you're doing is you're increasing the risk to our forces by putting them on fixed locations that are well known and easily targeted if Iran maintained the capability to do so. But we have the ability to occupy them. We have the ability to hold them if necessary. And that is not what I would call a major boots on the ground decision. This is a specific, very limited objective if President Trump decides to actually occupy any one or all three of those islands, as you've mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you look through military history, Noah Rothman, and we do have examples where limited military attempts to or have been successful in terms of returning territory. And in this case, you're liberating the Strait of Hormuz, essentially, from Iranian invasion, some might say. What's your take on what's before the president right now and what the challenges are, Noah?
Well, we have precedent, as you said, we have precedent for operations like these. Some involve taking territory to be used, negotiated later as a bargaining chip or a more durable settlement. We have history of liberating the Straits from Iranian interference on our own history. In the late 1980s, rather 1987, 1988, we opened up the Strait from an Iranian attempt to close it, and subsequent harassment efforts throughout the 40 years since. What the president unfortunately faces is that he's issued these threats many times before. The threats